Hey everybody, Gears here. So a few months ago I got this R2 Dome from Brad Carpenter, Braddock001 on YouTube. He had seen me painting my car up as X-Wing style, and that inspired him to send this dome along, and I just got the second package here from him, so I wanted to save the surprise for everybody here and see what we got. I know it's more parts for the dome, and I know they came from England, but other than that, it's going to be, I'm looking forward to opening this up. So thanks a lot, Brad. I really appreciate this. This is a great kickstart to this project for me. And I just started looking for more R2 parts and all that kind of thing to really budget out what this whole build is going to cost me. But this dome is a fantastic start, and thanks a lot. And everybody else out there, go over to Braddock001 and you'll see some really great full-scale robot builds that he's been doing for a while now. So let's unveil what we got here. Okay, so let's see what we got here. I've been studying the R2 builders for a good couple years now. I know a lot of the parts, well, all the parts are essentially open source. So you don't need to buy any real kits or anything, but a few people out there do make parts available. One of the rules of the R2 builders is that you can't make any kind of real profit off of them. But you can cover all your costs in a little bit of time. I don't know what parts are made in England at all. They could be custom one-offs, they could be generic runs, I have no idea. We got a little styrofoam here. Idea for a shipping tube. Oop, tiny. Wow. They're definitely resin. Cool. So a couple broken chips, but that's alright. Wow, it's almost everything I need for the rest of the dome. So let me clean this up a little and I'll show you what's here. And here they are. This is just about everything needed to finish off the dome. I still got to come up with the radar eye there. But 3 hollow projectors. Everything has a name for the R2 builders. I don't know, for instance, what these two are, but they go right over here. This guy here goes right there. So there's a lot of hollowing out and carving to do. So one of these hollow projectors goes back here, and it looks like this is a backstop, so it doesn't matter that that is cracked at all. There's a clear lens in here, which is pretty sweet. The casting detail is really nice. I won't be able to tape all these parts on until I've actually washed them. They've got resin release agent. This is made out of resin here. I've never seen a resin quite like this before, though. There's a couple very minor chips. Let's see if I can get those. So like something like this is a very easy fix and no problem at all. Some of the resin is a little thin in some places, which could make it easier to break if any little kids come along and start, banging at it. There's a lot of that if you look on YouTube or even on my convention video playlist. I don't know if you'll see any kids beating on an R2, but basically you put an R2 near kids and they'll start jumping on them, kicking them, punching them, and all sorts of crazy stuff. Well, these are some really nice parts. Brad, thanks a lot. This really goes a long way to getting all this done. One of the major things I got to do, this particular dome is basically a one-off made out of fiberglass, and before I work with this I have to get some proper protection. I need a respirator, I'm going to need goggles, I'm going to need some heavy-duty gloves. And when you're working on resin, you really got to protect yourself because this stuff just gets everywhere. It's all the particles turn into this really hard grit that sticks to everything, and you really got to be careful. So one of the things that I'll be doing is that because this is a one-off, there's a few seams on the dome that I'm going to have to address, and also the obvious holes, like here. This is where one of those hollow projectors will go. Over here is another one. This has to be cut out, these two little guys here. And if I do it properly, every single one of these little pie wedges here has to be cut out and then put back in. I don't know if I'm going to go that far with this. Basically, this is going to be a dome that I put in the back of my car, and it's definitely a learning project overall. So when I go to build my second R2 dome, what I'll probably do on that is take all the lessons from this one, apply them to that, so I can do that really, really good. So again, this really, here's one other trick I'll show you, is that this front hollow projector here, you can see it comes in 3 parts, unlike those over there. And the reason for that is that this is actually a ball shape that will clamp in between the layers of the wall, so it can actually be rotated around. I don't know if this is the front or if this piece is the front. That would make more sense to me. But these other pieces have that slight wave in it, like this here. Let's try it this way. So yeah, this is pretty ingenious. That sandwich is in there, and then you can rotate this as well. As I mentioned, there's a clear lens in there, which means you can put a light behind these. Probably have to use some kind of diffusion material to, so you can't see the actual light source itself. There's several different at least 2 different electronics packages for the R2 dome. They're called the Jedi display, and it's J.E.D.I. So that's actually an acronym for something else. But on the R2 dome, there's a whole series of lights here that go up. This one should go red and blue, whereas this one right here goes yellow-green, and then this here is just a huge amount of LEDs going off, flickering all the time. So there's a good amount of work to do, and you can see that I've got it on a Lazy Susan right now. I've got to get a bigger one because this particular Lazy Susan is definitely too small. That's why I've got this board in here. But in the car, I'll be putting R2 on a Susan so he can swing around freely. And if I can wire him into my car's electrical system somehow, or at least give him some kind of power switch while I'm driving around, that would definitely be pretty freaking cool. So yeah, I think that's it. Brad, thanks a lot. This is really great of you, man, and I really don't know what to say. This is most generous of you. There's another thing here. This came with this little strip of felt. Don't quite know what that's going to be for, but I'm sure I'll find out soon enough. So yeah, Brad, thanks a lot. Everybody, head over to Braddock001 and you'll see some really great full-scale robot builds that he does. And yeah, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Here's one last note, is that on this R2 dome, in the next 3 to 6 months, I'm going to be moving to a different apartment, either across town or across country. I don't quite know which yet, but it will be a big move either way. So I'm going to try and do a minor amount of work on the dome before then, and really a lot of the project here is not going to get super done until after the summer, I think, and it's the spring of 2011 now. So I'm working on my car at this point. Head over to my other videos and check that out. It's starting to look really good. I'm just over halfway done, I think. A few more color panels to do here and there, and of course installing the R2. And me and Brad have been talking about a potential idea for the back hatch that if it works out, I'll definitely you'll be seeing all of it. So that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. See ya. Oh, last note. These parts were made by donjars-place.com over in Britain. Looks like he's building his own R6. So that's it. Thanks. See ya.